let the 70s classics soothe you as we welcome you to the 2-Minute Terminator, episode 38 with me, your host, Ethan McKinley. I'm just going to double check that is the right episode, and I'd be right to think that. We're going from episode 74, or minute 74, to 76. I'm sorry, I drank a lot of cough medicine this morning. I would also recommend not watching RoboCop 2 while eating pasta, because it's not good for Ellie's brain, apparently. Hi, this is the 2-Minute Terminator. We're on season 3 of the show. It's Terminator 3. We're halfway through. And this is where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time.
Hit
The tragically mournful music playing in the background is the overture for Star Trek 1979, the motion picture by Jerry Goldsmith. Basically, the overture is sometimes they played it at the start of movies. They'd play like a blank screen with just score playing, and then the movie would start.
I've never actually seen that.
What?
Never actually experienced that myself.
Wait a minute. Right, first you tell me you've never seen Star Trek 1, the motion picture.
I have seen that. I haven't seen Ghostbusters.
What? You've not seen Ghostbusters?
I've seen Star Trek.
Ghostbusters 1, 1984 by Ivan Wright.
It just looked shit to me. It never appealed to me, even as a kid.
You like Bill Murray?
Yeah.
You like Dan Aykroyd?
Who's Dan Aykroyd?
What would you have seen? The other Blues Brother that's not fat.
Oh, okay.
You like Harold Ramis?
He's alright.
Oh.
Dan Aykroyd, he's okay.
Dan
I'm
Aykroyd
not a massive fan.
Dan Aykroyd's
Trading
awesome.
Places, yeah, he was good in that.
I mean, I could see where you'd depart. I'll leave you there if you will. When like he goes, hey, well, I also run a vodka company called Crystal Skull Vodka, Crystal Head Vodka, which I understand Mia is quite a fan of. So, well, on that bombshell, I shall welcome Ellie Fitzgerald, the disembodied voice on the show, who surprises us every day with new knowledge that she's neither seen Ghostbusters or, just name a film. Watership Down.
I love Watership Down.
Okay, we're
I
back
think that's
on board.
I think that's what put me off smoking.
Yeah, because rabbits.
The bit with the little rabbit, it just was really scary.
Why
I just remember watching that bit at the beginning of the film where he finds the cigarette and he looks up to the telegraph pole, and it's all weird and trippy and horrible, and it just that actual part of the film used to make me feel sick.
If he's tripping, then it's not a cigarette, is it? It's weed.
Yeah, but I used to like smoking weed.
When you were 6.
No.
Hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Hi everyone. We're
Hi.
back. And,
How is everybody?
How is everybody? How are you, Ellie?
I'm okay.
Oh,
How are
good.
you?
I'm good. This is quite. Oh, hello. And then obviously the score kicks in. This is the famous Star Trek theme that Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah, I've seen this film.
Yeah, when they go and meet Vija.
Yeah.
Kirk Unit, what are you doing? Because why is she talking like that? Why are you talking like that? It's not funny.
You know, I used to watch a lot of Star Trek when I was a kid.
Well, they used this for the Next Generation TV theme, didn't they? Because for some bizarre reason, they couldn't use the Alexander Courage theme.
I thought
They
Next
didn't wanna use
Generation was before the film.
No. The first Star Trek, basically, you had the Star Trek series in the 60s, and they tried to
which had
reboot it
Shatner
with Star Trek
and Leonard
Phase 2,
Nimoy.
and then they scrapped the idea about 76. Then they tried to get, I think, an animated show which ran for a little bit, I think just before the Star Trek Phase 2, and then obviously they brought Star Trek back in film form
I
after.
think animated would have been really good, actually.
There is an animated 60s Star Trek voiced by all the actors.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's early 70s. It's a bit around the same time of the Planet of the Apes cartoon, of that brilliant documentary which you refused to see.
I don't like Planet of the Apes.
I don't either. Can
So
someone,
why
you
would
know
I
what?
want to watch the documentary?
We're in agreement on this. I want to like Planet of the Apes. I really do. Can someone out there explain to me why Planet of the Apes is good and why it's continued as a franchise?
So if you don't like Planet of the Apes, why did you watch the documentary?
Because I find film documentaries fascinating and interesting.
But only if I like the actual movie.
No, not necessarily. I think there's some shitty movies out there that have some great documentaries about them.
Like Planet of the Apes.
The thing is, Planet of the Apes isn't a shitty movie. It's it's basically a Twilight Zone episode, isn't it? They've made into a movie.
I'm just gonna eat some rice pudding.
That's fine. While Ethan regales you with like boring stories about 20th Century Fox film projects. But like, of all the great twisty-turny plot things that Planet of the Apes is, I mean, Rod Serling had a hand in it. Who wrote and created this Twilight Zone series, A Night Gallery. But like, why is Planet of the Apes good? Like, the new films are actually good.
I couldn't possibly tell you.
But
I'm
the
not a
old
big
films,
fan.
it's just like,
I'm also not a fan of Godzilla.
we went into space and we crashed on this planet and it's populated by monkeys and they're in charge. Why is that such like a flip of a paradigm that you go, oh my god, it's the world gone mad? And it generated like 5 sequels, a TV show, an animated series. It's
kind of what Enoch Powell predicted.
you could argue, like, also it started the merchandising boom of the 70s in tie-ins with films, because like you had action figures, board games, play sets. People really give credit to Star Wars for that.
Wasn't it the original Planet of the Apes film?
Oh my dear,
Where they thought that the people that did the special effects for that were the same people that did the Patterson Gimli Bigfoot.
Patterson Gimli?
Is that not what it is?
What, a dwarf from Middle-earth filming a Bigfoot? You're referring, of course, to the Patterson-Gimlin film, which was done in 1968, I think,
that's it, Gimli.
by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin.
Didn't they think the same people that did the special effects for the original Planet of the Apes also made that suit?
Well, anyone who's seen Argo, there's a special effects man in it, played by John Goodman, who plays John Chambers, who was like a famous movie special effects man. He was basically a war medic who did a lot of prosthetics and stuff during the Second World War or the Korean War. And when he retired or left, like, what is it? You know, national.
The army?
Yeah, I was going to say the services. He went into making film makeups, and he was like the top of the league, basically. It's claimed, or Bob Hieronymus, who claims he was the man in the Bigfoot suit. If you don't know this thing, just type in Patterson Gimlin film. Everyone's seen it. It's the famous little, like, flickering.
It's real. I think
Super 8
it's
of Bigfoot.
real.
All right, a guy called Bob Hieronymus came forward and said that was me in the suit, and he tried to recreate it. People are divided. People think he's full of like shit. People who
I think he's full of shit.
Well, here's the thing: Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, who went to wait, listen to this little cute noise that goes in the background of the score. You'll hear it in a minute. Bear with us. What is that?
It's probably an electric violin.
What? Really? Yeah. What's that?
It's an electric violin.
It's very reminiscent of the In a Space score that Jerry.
All you
Goldsmith
have to do
authored.
is pull the string and it makes that sound.
So anyway, Patterson Gimlin. Here are the things against Patterson Gimlin. Whatever. It's Lord of the Rings. Bob Hieronymus claims he was the man in the suit. He says John Chambers created the ape costume. John Chambers did the Planet of the Apes films, and he also worked on making the people look like the way they did in the film Argo. Not in the film Argo, in the real life situation of Argo.
But Land Before Time.
That's an animated show. Or you referring to one of the Doug McClure ones?
Yeah, the Doug McClure.
Probably not, because they're British productions. They're like
the Warlocks.
I think they're Warlords of Atlantis.
No, the Morlocks. That's what I was thinking.
Morlocks. That's maybe.
Is that the Time Machine?
Yeah.
Time Machine.
One of my
Who
favourite
did those?
movies.
I love that movie.
Better than the Jeremy Irons version.
Yeah.
Anyway, Patterson Gimlin film. Robert Gimlin, Bob Gimlin, and Roger Patterson. Did you know the camera they rented, the Super 8 camera they filmed it on? Great noise.
Sounds like you after a douche.
The camera they wrote with a bad check, so the check bounce they were doing it on.
Right.
I think Robert Gimlin, or Bob Gimlin, no, Roger Patterson was. I think he'd been in and out of jail for a few petty crimes like fraud and stuff. So it's already like not looking good for them. But despite all that, I think it is real.
I think it's real.
Why do you think it's real?
The movement.
How many Bigfoots have you seen to compare it to, though? So
no,
human-like.
but it's not. No, but I saw this thing, this kind of documentary where they were looking into it and they were testing it on so many different levels. And what they did was they got a man to do it. They computerized it as well to see if they could replicate the same swing and the same movement. And they actually couldn't. They couldn't do it.
Okay.
And it just, I don't know. I just don't.
You should watch some of the Bob Hieronymus stuff then, see what you think about him. We have to like see all sides of the.
Of course.
The thing.
But from the other things that on this documentary they were saying it wasn't true. I don't know. I just didn't think it was as plausible as the case of saying that it is true.
Well, another.
Plus, I like to believe in like the weird and wonderful and magic of the
another
world.
school of thought is that John Landis, the film director, was in the suit.
John Landis.
John Landis, who started off as
I know who he
as a
is.
stuntman, he played the monkey in his first movie Schlock, which was created by Rick Baker.
Rick Baker.
But Rick Baker thinks the Patterson Gimlin film's horseshit.
When you met Rick Baker, did you call him by his first name?
I did.
Did you go, Rick?
No, I said, "Hey, Rick Baker," and he went, in Forbidden Planet, and he looked shocked that I guess someone had like spotted him. Although he's quite a famous face if you know like the behind the camera people.
Especially if you're in Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, like half the fucking shit on the store
You are
shelves he
phonies.
created.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've massively gone off topic.
That's fine.
We were
It's
actually meant to be doing
nice bit
Terminator.
of filler. You have to get you out of your funk.
So, how do we bookmark this episode, Ethan?
We bookmarked this episode with some stuff. Well,
So
basically,
it's bookmarked with the systems coming back online after everything's kind of shut down after the initial turning on of Skynet. Way hey. And then it closes with the T1 shooting up shop, basically.
shooting up shop.
And John, Kate, and her dad and Arnie are all running to Mr. Bruce's office to try and switch off Skynet, which I think they're going to have some trouble doing because it's now self-aware. So basically, you fucked. They're the bookmarks.
Right. Well, the bridging of the last night's episode and today's Ellie. He was saying, "Do we turn on Skynet? Do we not? Do they even get to the button to turn it on?" Or
He just hits Y for yes on that keyboard.
so he does do that because I
Yeah.
didn't see him do that.
It's the point where I said that it looked like when he turned round, there was a dude like sat next to it. Well, he was stood up, the guy was sat down, and as he turns, it looks like he's about to get ahead of him.
But no, because as we left last night's episode, he was hovering over whether I should do this or not.
No, he wasn't.
He pressed Y.
He hit Y because then
Okay.
that's when everything shuts down because he switched on Skynet. And I asked the question, why did everything shut down? And you said, well, you know what it's like when you reboot, when you update something, you have to then restart it again.
The operating system.
Yeah. So no, we did.
But
see
then
it, we
John
covered
says
it.
during the clip it's a virus. Now
Well, Skynet is the virus within itself.
yeah, but I thought the reason I got confused is because the TVX has got a magic lesbian magic power finger. I thought not only she'd like activated the T1, she'd also infected the entire system and injected kind of Skynet, if you will, into the operating system.
I don't think she has. I think that was solely down to
I'm leaving.
because this actually comes on to a question I have further on in this episode, which I guess I can bring up now.
As we're an hour in, we haven't talked about
Exactly. And that is, why did she just activate one of the T1s? If she really wanted to do the job properly, why didn't she just go in and just, finger each one of them? Boop, 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 boop. Done.
Well, she essentially does, doesn't she? There's
I
about
think
two or
she's
three
saying-
running around.
No, there's not. There's one.
No, there's two. At least two. Because you've got the one that breaks through the glass door and shoots the people. The people coming out of the lift, she shoots.
People are people.
Yeah, so what does it mean? One comes out of an elevator and shoots everyone up, and then there's another one that goes behind the glass of the observation deck almost of that office. Or
I thought that was the same one.
No, there's a couple of them. Here's one.
Yeah, that smashes
Right, he's
through the
shooting that
glass.
way. He's shooting across the office through the observation windows.
Yeah. So where's the
shooting
next
at
one?
the office, right? Shooting at the office. There's John, blah, blah, blah.
There's Kate. There's her dad on the floor.
And then another one comes out of an elevator. Yeah?
I'm waiting for it.
All right, keep waiting for it. Sorry, here you go.
Oh, okay. So she has activated more than one.
Yeah, see, that's one coming out of the elevator. That's one shooting that way across the office. This one's coming through the office. So they're kind of doing this like crossfire thing.
So do we think that all the T1s are all connected?
No, I just think it's
Or
the one
are they
she's...
individual?
Yeah, I think they all have to be switched on. But then again, having said that, because now Skynet is online, potentially they're all kind of activated and switched on, aren't they?
Do you not think that the T1 looks so much like the second kind of like prototype they make in RoboCop 1?
RoboCop 1, the second prototype.
Well, you've got RoboCop, and then they tried to make the next one, the one that ends up malfunctioning and killing everyone.
I'm just trying to think. RoboCop 1, the first movie.
Yeah.
Because
Just RoboCop.
RoboCop 1 technically is Peter Weller's RoboCop.
Okay.
RoboCop 2, you see a bunch of RoboCops they test in this like...
No, I mean from the first film. So once, they make a second robot.
No. I literally don't remember that.
Oh my god, you saw it earlier. When you were looking at the making of, You
Right.
saw it. It's got that big kind of head with the round black bit like that. It's got the two. It sits outside OCP.
Ed 209.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, the reason I was confused, Ellie, is because the T1s in this are essentially tracked tank vehicles with like a tripod head and 2 arms shooting.
But I think it really looks like that.
Yeah, I don't think the T1, and if you want to know what a T1 looks like, if you go back to episode 37, the actual artwork of that show on the episode is a T1. Does that at all look to you like a Ed 209?
I don't mean like the face. I mean obviously the Ed 209 or whatever it is.
It's got
doesn't
2
have an
cannons
eye.
for arms. That's it.
But-
I mean, the rest of it.
I don't know. I just saw it and it just made me think of Robocop.
You know
Maybe
what?
'cause it's a
I'd go
robot.
as far to say if you're going to say it looks a bit like something, it looks almost exactly like, within reason. It looks like Robbie the Robot, not from Lost in Space, but from the movie version of Lost in Space with Matt LeBlanc. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my god!
I don't like Matt LeBlanc.
Why don't we just do a podcast where we just force you to watch films that you really should have
Dude, I'm
watched?
26, man.
I know, but you've seen films that go way beyond when you were born. You've seen like all the
Oh, I
black and
know,
whites
but
and stuff.
I can't have seen all the movies. I obviously watched and grew up watching all the films that my parents had on old like VHS, like fucking Betamax tapes.
Red Hot Dutch,
Yeah.
keeping our marriage alive.
But yeah, there's lots of films I haven't seen, but I'm sure I will. By the time I get to your age, Ethan, I'm sure I would have seen them all.
How dare you? I'm 48.
48. You're not. You're 40. Yeah. So my first point, actually, my first kind of qualm, when the TX first comes in, she's disguised as Catherine Brewster, and she's going, "No, Daddy," and he goes, "Kid, what are you doing here?" And then the T-800 comes in and shoots her. The look on her father's face, he looks more puzzled than
Well, you would
shocked or horrified or upset. He doesn't shout out. He doesn't seem that alarmed. In fact, this whole scene...
He's a stoic military man.
He's just watched his daughter get shot.
He's shh.
I can do Sean too.
Can I bring up a point exactly to what you're saying?
Yeah.
As she does get shot, I guess for budgetary reasons, she just gets shot like that and falls down.
That is pretty
When she
funny.
stands up as the TX, when she gets shot by Arnold, she goes... And you see her like kind of like splatting all the metal. Wouldn't that have happened in Kate
yeah.
Brewster guys as well? I thought you'd have picked up on that.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So I guess that's a cock-up.
Ed
Yeah,
is
I
cock
just
up.
thought that Brewster, Mr. Brewster, I always forget his first name. I just think throughout this whole scene, his acting was really lacking. I don't care if he's a military man. He gets shot. He doesn't really show any kind of indication of pain, or he doesn't like shout out. He barely like breaks a grimace.
Well, they do zoom in on his face as she's being shot. He's going...
But yeah, that's what I mean. He looks more like, what's going on? As opposed to, oh my god, that's my only daughter who's just been shot right in front of my eyes.
But
In
there-
Skynet, why the hell is she here?
There is a school of thought in acting, and De Niro says this, like, whoever goes, oh, I'm really good in this scene, or I'm a really great actor. I'm actually not. I don't really do anything in the scene. I just kind of, like, do very little, and the audience projects onto that what they want. I guess for some actors that works, and some it doesn't. Maybe
I don't think it worked for him so
maybe that's what
much.
this guy's trying to do.
Yeah, but he's not... Who did you say said that? Al Pacino?
No! Bobby De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
It's good, yeah.
Actually, can you do a Robert De Niro?
You can do the face.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. You do the face really well. Talk, though.
I can't...
Come on.
It's a bit...
channel.
I can't do De Niro because he's quite nondescript. I've seen people do him. I could try to do Anthony Hopkins.
Go on, then.
Hello, I'm Anthony Hopkins. I'm from Wales.
Keep going.
Hello. I worked with Alec Baldwin on the Edge, 1997, and when I did what was that film I did with Gary Oldman? Whatever. Anyway, I said it reminds me of me 20 years ago when we did Dracula.
Do you mean Dracula? Yeah.
Yes. I was a bit of a drunk, you see.
I think that's actually quite good.
Was it right?
Yeah.
Kind of talks in the back of his throat, and he's a bit Welsh.
That was... You kind of tailored off a bit there.
Reminds me of me 20 years ago.
Can you do it when he plays Hannibal Lecter?
Oh, yes. Yes, I can. No.
No, you
Yeah, it's
can't.
kind of there, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, it is. Goody goody. Ooh.
Can you do Jack
Because
Nicholson?
his accent, American accent's really bad. He's like, hello, Clarice.
He's English in that.
He's not.
I swear to God, he's English. in
No,
that.
he's trying to do an American accent. He's meant to be American. He's from Baltimore. Dr. Hannibal Lecter is like a Baltimore physician.
Him back to Baltimore. That's a great movie. I fucking love Silence of the Lambs.
Tapping your nipples up, didn't it?
So good.
See? I can do
Breastfeed
it.
little Catherine.
Did you breastfeed little Catherine? Multiple MIGs in the next cell. What did he say? He said, I can smell your cunt.
Ethan, it's Sunday.
I myself
It's a family
cannot.
show. You wear Evian skin cream.
You wear Evian skin cream. Although not on this occasion. Is that right?
Yeah.
See, that's it, isn't
That
it?
was good. That was
And
good.
When he's being Anthony Hopkins, he's like, I did the Edge with Alec Baldwin. That's too Welsh, I'm sorry. I'll try me hardest, you do one.
No, I can't do it.
Do Billy Idol.
Right. I look like Billy Idol. I don't sound like Billy Idol.
Anyway, you know when the TX puts their like magic lesbian power figure into the TX T1 its head.
Taiwan.
Yeah, made in Taiwan probably.
Mm.
The TX's uniform at Edwards Air Force Base belonged to Lieutenant Hastings before she killed her. The gun she uses is a 9mm Baretta, that one's for you, Spalding. And she took from the base security chief, Captain McManus. That's the gun she took, McManus's gun, and she took Lieutenant Hastings' outfit. When did she kill Lieutenant Hastings?
I did not.
I think that's
see
a
that.
cut scene, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
We'll have to go through.
But she does have the Hastings name tag. I was thinking that
But
the last episode. I was
We'll
like,
have to do a deleted scenes episode because I'm sure it's there. It's probably just on the DUVD.
I was thinking, I wonder why they chose Hastings. I was like, maybe because of the Battle of. Who knows?
I probably think most Americans wouldn't know anything about that.
Bastards.
So she kills Hastings and assumes her uniform at least. The gun she uses is the 9mm Baretta from the security chief, Captain McManus. Another thing we've not seen. And she was forced to kill him to prevent him from blowing her cover. These scenes were deleted from the film. Read them before the show, Ethan. In the script, the TX Edwards Air Force Base is the TX. She's radioing the police helicopter flying overhead after an altercation at the cemetery. Okay, this is how she gets to the Air Force Base. You wanna know? She calls into the cops from the cemetery, and she kills the pilot, and then flies the helicopter to the base, basically.
Well, that took a bloody long time.
It's probably the same helicopter she crashes at the climax that also was like
At the
not
climax.
of the film.
Oh.
That's in the script, but was cut. The killing of Lieutenant Hastings and the security chief, Captain McManus, that was filmed but cut from the film.
Can you say that all in an Irish accent for me, please?
Well, the TX's uniform was at Edwards Air Force Base. It belonged to Lieutenant Hastings before she killed her. Then the gun she uses is a 9mm Baretta, and she took that to the base security chief, or she killed him rather, the Captain McManus. She was forced to kill him to prevent him from blowing her cover. These scenes were deleted from the film.
It's film.
That depends where you're from, though, isn't it?
I
Plowman says film.
think it is film.
Anyway, in the script, the TX gets to Edwards Air Force Base. Mr. Eastwood. I'm turning into fucking Marty McFly's great grandfather from Back to the Future 3.
Keep going.
TX gets to Edwards Air Force Base by radioing the police helicopter flying overhead after the altercation at the cemetery. She kills the pilot and flies on ahead. It's probably the same helicopter that she crashed at the climax.
Have you ever seen Darby O'Gill and the Little People?
With Sean Connery?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You should watch it.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's one film I've not seen, whereas the legion of films you should have seen.
There's lots of films you haven't seen.
Seen Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb's great.
Is Tom Thumb the one where they've got him in a little jar? There's a little leprechaun in a jar, or is that Darby O'Gill?
That's Darby O'Gill.
And it's loads of monsters attacking a castle, right? And it's Harryhausen-y, and he's in the little thing, and they have to let him out of the glass dome, and he has to like stop them. Is
No.
that Darby O'Gill?
No.
No.
Darby O'Gill is all about the
If
band.
anyone's listening, can you tell me what that is? Because it's around that same 60s period. It's
I
like
can tell
Harryhausen-esque. It's got a little leprechaun in a jar, or a jam jar or something.
Basically, what happens in Darby O'Gill and the Little People is there's like a castle, like an old ruined castle on the top of this hill in Scotland, and oh no, it's not. It's Ireland. Sorry. Well, I just was thinking Sean Scottish, but he does a really terrible Irish accent in it. And it's all about this banshee. And up on the castle, there is like a kind of leprechaun world, but it's all magic. And basically, this guy, his daughter, she gets taken by the banshee, and he's trying to release her. And he finds this little leprechaun. He captures the leprechaun, and to let the leprechaun go, he says, "You have to help me get my daughter back."
Okay.
That's what it is about. Tom Thumb's completely different. Tom
Okay.
Thumb's got
Yeah, Tom Thumb is the actor that was
got-
in Django. Forgotten his name. Roy, no. Oh God, what's his name?
I can't think of who you mean.
Russ Tamlin.
That's the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's got my favourite. Bugger! My mind's just gone blank. English chap was in School for Scoundrels.
Oh, it's Terry Thomas.
Terry Thomas, love him.
Frightfully. She's a lovely creature.
Yeah, and it's got Peter Sellers in it.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is.
Maybe I'll watch Being There later.
Oh my god!
Good
Really?
night, Agnes. Yeah. Why not?
Wow.
Anyway, I've noticed a few cock-ups in this section of the film.
Cock up.
Now, bearing in mind, and as we've found on other episodes, when I did compile this list, some of them might slip into the wrong episode and or backwards or
They
forwards.
always do. But it's become like a part of the show now. Ethan skewed cock.
Bing. Mew. Towards the end of the film, the
Sub-zero
TX.
temperatures.
Oh no, it works. Here we go. Towards the end of the film, we've got it right. Brilliant. Ethan. Towards the end of the film, the TX activates the robotic defenses, which are presumably the first models of Terminators. In one scene later on, we see through an older Terminator's vision that it's sharp and a crystal clear image. Supposedly, the more recent T101, the Arnold Schwarzenegger model, has got blurry red view imaging. How can the newer model have an inferior optical system?
Because the original film was made in the 80s.
Exactly.
Have we got any more cock-ups?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to say, though, this bit of score very much reminds me of when Ash is walking through the graveyard in Evil Dead.
We've never even watched those movies together.
We don't need to. I've seen this so many times.
Okay.
Did you know, though, listeners and fans of Evil Dead 3 or Army of Darkness, have you seen the alternate endings?
No.
Which ending have you seen Army of Darkness end on? Is he back at the S-Mart? And he goes, "Yo, she bitch, let's dance," and he's shooting her with a gun.
Oh, yeah, back in the supermarket.
Or have you seen the one where he oversleeps because he gets
No.
distracted when he's dropping the things onto his tongue?
No,
He
I've
goes,
seen the
"Huh?"
one where he goes back to the
And
supermarket.
he goes, 4, 5. So he goes like 100 years past what he's meant to be, and he wakes up past the apocalypse in the future. He goes, "Oh my God, I slept too long."
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
What's your favourite ending?
Also, I think the one that doesn't end heroically for him when he gets the girl and he's the manager of the S-Mart
Yeah.
now. Now that's stupid.
That's
It's
the
like,
one I've seen.
it's more character appropriate
That
he
he's
completely
overslept.
cocks it. Yeah.
You're kind of like Ash, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you can sort shit out, but it's never just plain sailing, is it?
We abandoned that show, didn't we? We got to episode 6.
What show?
Evil Dead TV show.
Oh, yeah, it was shit. It was bad. I didn't enjoy any of it. The only bit that was actually like Evil Dead was when they were in the caravan, and it was the kind of quick camera shots where it was like, and everyone was kind of looking
The one
at
that
each other.
Sam Raimi directed. The
Yeah.
first one.
The rest of it, I just thought was utter bollocks.
Yeah.
It was weak. I thought the characters were bad. Ash, I just thought wasn't actually that great. Plus, he just looks really old, and he looks so orange. Why was he so orange in that?
I think it's a mixture of tan makeup and I think they put some filter on the camera to make him look like more vibrant. But it
Oh
looks weird.
god,
doesn't
it looks so bad. It looked like I've been tangoed.
Plateau, Baretta, nickel, necktie. Okay then, that's it.
I'll come back for you. Yeah. So what else did I want to talk about? Oh, when the TX shoots Mr. Brewster, instead of using just like a shitty little handgun, which only wounds him, why didn't she use her plasma arm, which would have actually definitely taken him out? She then could
You know
have
the
used
answer
that.
to this question already. Just take one more logical step in your mind, knowing the film you've seen so far and the reasons she can't use her plasma arm.
Oh, it's broken.
Put a line through that.
She can shoot fire out of it.
Yeah, but it burns him. My only question with that is when she does kill Mr. Brewster.
She doesn't kill him though.
That's what I mean. She should be like, her accuracy should be perfect.
That was my next point. Why
down
not
the
just go for a
central line,
headshot?
move and fire, and move and fire,
And move and fire, and move and fire.
right down the central line.
Yeah, why not go for a heart shot or a
Isn't
headshot?
special forces like 2 in the chest, 1 in the head?
I have no
So
idea.
you
I've
hit
never
the,
been.
try and hit the heart or crack the center with bullets, or at least damage the lungs. Then you put 1 or 2 in the head.
I would always just go for between the eyes.
Well, between the eyes, as I said, it apparently isn't the right place to shoot someone. You
Why?
shoot them there. What's that bit? Cupid's bow.
I thought it was called your feltrum, but okay.
All right, you felt what? No, that's when you suck. No, I'm not going to say that on the line.
That's felching.
Okay. Feltrum, right?
Your feltrum.
Okay, apparently you're meant to shoot someone in the feltrum. I'm only going on this based on the Miami Vice movie from 2006.
Oh God! You are a cable guy.
No, but if someone's got like a bomb, this guy's got a bomb in the film with a trigger, and if he's
Is your mum a prostitute?
if he presses it, everyone's going to go up, and they think if they shoot him in the head, the reaction of you going ugh, being shot in the head. So the best thing to do is shoot right there, so it just goes right through your brainstem and removes your brain, connects it to your body, as opposed to damaging the brain. Just like you can shoot people in the head, and it can't. It sometimes doesn't kill them.
This is a good point.
Which I mean, well, we saw that video yesterday. Oh my God!
Jesus Christ.
What were we on?
It's called bestshockers.com. and
Bestshockers.com.
It's got the most horrific videos on I think I've ever seen. And there was one of them that I actually didn't watch. And there was another one that I got halfway through watching and stopped. That's never happened to me before in my life. I think it's because...
I think as you grow older, because I've got less of an appetite for it now I'm older. But when I was I think as you get older, I think you appreciate life more because you're closer to death. So I
don't think it's that. I think it was just the nature. And I'm not this like, oh my God, save the animals. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't go out and kill a cat myself. But this one particular video was this kid, and it's got these 2 kittens.
Put them in the vacuum bag
It
and then
puts it in
suck
a
the air
vacuum
out
and
with the
starts
vacuum.
sucking, and you can see the cat's moving, and then it realizes it's like losing oxygen, and it starts like darting around, and then you see it start to slow down. And I was like, I actually cannot watch the last few moments of these kittens just suffocate. I don't know. I can quite happily watch a man get beheaded, either with a chainsaw or a knife.
Or there was the hammer murder.
The hammer, with
Or
this
that
guy was
serial
just getting a
killer.
hammer in the face.
And then he was alive for ages with
And you could just hear him choking on his own blood. just
drowning in his own blood.
And you literally couldn't depict any facial feature because another weapon they were using was a screwdriver. They were just stabbing in the face with a screwdriver. That, fine. I felt like such a pussy when I couldn't watch these cats die. I was like, oh God, what's wrong with me?
You want to get... Oh God, you turned into a cat lady.
Oh no, God no. I'm not a cat person at all.
What other points do you have, Ellie? Points!
Oh yeah, okay. So the whole point of Terminators assuming the
Prime
appearance...
directive.
Assuming the appearance of human beings, you know, fully clothed to blend in.
They always end up wearing really obvious hats. You go, that's not right.
Well, just the red leather, I don't get at all. But
Well, she's meant to look like a Beverly Hills socialite.
she's just changed from Catherine Brewster to the kind of liquid metal and solid metal shape, and then she goes back to her blonde German red leather wearing whatever. At that point, the cover's been blown. Everyone knows that she's not who she's meant to be. Why does the TX keep assuming that
Original
appearance?
form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You'd think she'd just have a military outfit on then, so she could at least blend in some way. If she's running down a corridor, at least she'd look like she was meant to be there.
Yeah. It's corridor, by the way.
Yeah. What did I say?
Corridor.
Corridor.
It's not DER, it's DOR.
Then you put that in curries.
Yeah.
Corridor.
Coriander. Yeah, so that, I was just thinking, why does she keep assuming that female form and get up after everyone knows that she's actually a Terminator? And it's in this scene that we actually hear Arnold Schwarzenegger use the phrase, "She'll be back." Well, how do we feel about that?
I think it encapsulates the entire, like, I guess the thrust of the film. It's like almost like a parody of itself in a sense.
Well, it's a trope, isn't it?
It's a trope, but they've tried to flip it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel about the whole film that way. It's like it's got some serious bits, then really stupid bits.
I just feel the whole film's really cheesy.
Well, it is. But is it any worse or better than Terminator Genesis?
I think it's worse than Genesis.
Why?
I prefer Genesis.
Why?
I just thought it had a better storyline.
Because I've watched Genesis 3 or 4 times now.
Have you?
Yeah.
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 I've only seen it once.
Yeah, a lot of it doesn't hold up.
How do you mean? Oh, what, like the time scales and things like that?
But no, yeah.
But we know for a fact that none of these films' time scales actually hold up.
I think, yeah, it is better, but... Oh, I don't know.
You think Genesis is better than this?
Genesis is better than this, but I mean, not by much.
Oh,
I mean,
I
they're
know.
not really...
I mean, this is terrible, although 4 is definitely the worst.
Genesis is more serious tone. I think Genesis gets brownie points because they went back to the 80s original and kind of Back to the Future 2'd it, where you kind of like experience the film but from a different angle, as it were.
Something that Ethan doesn't have. So, yeah, that's all my notes.
Well, excellent. That was 35 minutes of claptrap and waffle. Watch the elbow.
Elbows.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Ooh.
She'll be back.
She'll be back, and I'll
he'll
be
be
back.
back.
We got both of them in. Yo! patty cake.
Yeah.
She'll be back, and I'll be back. That was great. We
That is
walked right
good.
into that one. Unplanned. And that's the beauty of the show, isn't it? It's
is.
always unplanned. Actually, it's not. You force it to do
Thank
every
you
day.
so much. I actually suggested doing this. I was like, should we do a podcast in a bit? And you were like, leave me alone.
Thank you for listening, listeners and viewers. If you're on the YouTube channel, if you're not on the YouTube channel yet, just
Then piss off.
Subscribe to it. It's got visuals in.
That Ethan actually spends a hell of a lot of time, love and patience putting together for your viewing enjoyment.
Yeah. I mean, I think the show will get better if we have a broader canvas to talk about, and we're hoping to get that later this year, as we do.
A sex podcast.
All right. How long would how long would each episode be?
I don't know. As long as we want it to be. Until we run out of steam, I guess.
I think also it can't
Maybe
just be
like
us.
20 minutes.
You need a third person.
Well, yeah, I thought we could get Mia on board. Or we could get different people on board.
All right. As someone, as you know, who does Questionable, who's like, there should be a show every week, and it's not from want of trying. It's like people book a time to do it, and they pull out.
Yeah, but the people that you go after, they're kind of like famous people. The people that we're going to be speaking to, they're not going to have those kind of like weird time.
No, but I think all the people that you know, or that I know, I'm in Birmingham, you're in Reigate or in Surrey somewhere. Getting people to come to you to do a show, I think.
But
will
we wouldn't.
prove
I don't
quite
think we would
difficult.
have to do that. We could do it through like Viber or Skype or something. Viber's a good one,
Okay.
and it's a free download.
It's just better if the person's actually in the room. I mean, other podcasts do it. You just need to like do a lot of work to kind of get people to kind of come on the show and stuff.
Hey. Just keep
Every week a new guest comes on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, believe me, it's a lot of work to kind of get another person involved, or even committed. If you do a one with not Nicola, fucking Lisa, no, Mia, I've forgotten her name.
Oh
She's dead to me.
God.
Yeah, I mean, even then, what do you do every week? How would you do the show, and how would it be structured?
Well, I would guess the first few episodes would be on kind of our sexual experience, weird and wonderful sexual experiences that we've
But then
had.
that only gets
or-
you maybe 5 episodes. Then
Yeah, but then what
do
we would then do is then move on to like different fetish, and then go.
And
we
then
can
how do
use
you talk about? I think because it's like if we did a movie podcast about any movies in general coming out, even though there's too many of those podcasts out there, so it's not really worth doing. That's more my forte. Whereas this just like, oh, well, we talked about a threesome this week, and then next week we talked about zoophilia, and that would be a good one. But like, I don't know.
Dude, there's
how
just
many
there's
legs.
so much out there.
I think you should start listening to sex podcasts and see what other people are doing.
Oh yeah, guys, we fucked.
Yeah, because that gets 100,000 listens or views a week, but they don't really talk. I think they have guests in every week, and they talk about. I don't know what they talk about. I've never listened to one. I've listened to every bit of one. I'm just rambling.
I'm just rambling. But no, we will have another podcast at some point later in the year. I want it to be on sex because I just think that'd be great.
It would. It gets people's interest. Like the Real Doll episode, which has very little to do with real dolls. It was called Real Dolls Need Love 2 in this season. Like on YouTube, was like the views on that as bonkers.
I know.
So sex does sell, but
Oh,
it's
hell
just
yeah.
like content. I think
I think it'll be good.
because I think you
I don't think I
also
could
you
ever
also
run out
come to a point I think where like the material gets thin on the ground, and then you start kind of making shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's a fetish for everything.
And then it becomes more of a kind of like comedy show because you're just trying to invent shit. I don't know.
There's only so much research you can do on a film.
I agree.
But research on sex, I mean, you can go back to shit that happened in the Roman
well, then
times or the
you should be
Grecian
you
times.
should be the person that does all that legwork.
Oh
and
no, I will happily do that.
I'll be just you on that show.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, because film isn't my forte.
I'll make sardonic comments and you go, no, like, if you do milk a man's prostate, and I'll be, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I think 'cause it's not something that's kind of like, even though sex interests everyone, it's the driving force behind advertising and entertainment and everything, basically. I still can't see myself doing that every week and making it, like, work and be good.
But another thing that you have to remember, it won't be every day.
No, that's true. But I mean, half an hour is a long time, isn't it?
I didn't say half
But
an hour.
this
I said about 20
this
minutes.
is good training. That's all this show ever was meant to be anyway. It's trying to come up with content and trying to fill that time. I think sometimes we've done it brilliantly. Sometimes we've ruined it and done it really badly. A lot of the time we've just done it quite well and enough for people to enjoy and listen to. We've gained a few new followers and listeners and things. And
Even in
also, we
recent
never
times.
mention Josh. We always mention
Has Josh retweeted recently?
he retweets and likes every single show that we do in every tweet.
Oh, bless him. Josh, we love you.
I
never use
don't
Twitter.
think he actually listens to the shows. I think he kind of likes what we do and maybe listens to the odd one and then supports it because, oh, they've done a thing, I'll support that and retweet it and stuff.
No matter what you're doing, Josh, just keep doing it. We do really appreciate your efforts.
But yeah,
your
he always kind of
support.
goes under the radar and I always forget because
I think it's because he's like we've always asked him to like
reached
reach
out to
to
him, he's
us,
never
and
replied.
he
He's
hasn't.
like, he doesn't listen to this fucking
He
show.
just rebuffs our
He just likes the
advances.
fact we do a show, I think.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Park podcast, though, they've started following us and liking our stuff, who
Oh,
are also on
really?
SoundCloud.
Awesome.
They're a much bigger show than us because they get like 20 listens per show. So
I think Jurassic Park's got a wider reach as well than Terminator. I think Terminator's more for like kind of geeks. Dude, quite a few of my friends haven't actually seen Terminator. It's shocking.
I assume because Terminator Genesis was coming out, kicking off a new franchise, it would like.
Yeah,
We-
but I think that Genesis would have been watched by those that have
I
loved the Terminator franchise from day one.
I think we. Well, I don't. Well, yeah, I suppose you're right. Because Jurassic Park is the second biggest movie of all time. Jurassic World. I'm like, really?
And the Star Wars Minute, everyone loves Star Wars apart from me. And it's got a ridiculously large following.
And it's been monetized, which I'm looking into on YouTube. I found this button saying how do you monetize this show, but it's through YouTube, which is what they
Oh.
mentioned on that thing.
They did,
going,
yeah.
YouTube
And they could end up
keeps
just
most of
taking
the
all your money
Yeah.
anyway.
So I need to find out what the intermediary thing that he uses to get 100% of the money.
If anyone has any ideas on that or knows anything about that,
It basically means
do let
if
us
an
know.
advertiser advertises in your show,
they
like
get
when
the
you-
money and you don't.
Well, but you get the money from the advertiser this time.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you've got an hour-long podcast and there's 2 like commercials that appear in it, you'll get the money from that.
Anyway, we've waffled on.
We've filled 45 minutes with absolute rubbish.
No, we've done some cock-ups. We've got some
No, I
facts,
mean,
we've got
I'm
some
feeling
qualms
your
out
pain
there.
this week because like we've been forced to do so many shows. I think the air's gone out of it a little bit, so it's hard to kind of like generate that kind of like enthusiasm or fun.
The last few ones have been awesome.
You think?
Dude, that last one, you were
Yesterday's
laughing
intro.
your head off.
When
Look at your face, you're like, yeah.
I did the pastiche of the Pacific Rim monologue at the start. He could barely keep his asshole closed in an erection.
But yes, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, thank you all 6 of you, and we shall return.
We'll be back.
We will be back. She'll be
She'll
back. I'll
He'll be back.
They'll be back. We'll all be back. Well, most of us.
Hasta la vista.
Baby. Right, cut.
When I hold back in time. Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines. They will rule the world. I'll be back.